Hello YouTube, welcome back to day 19 of Sportsmas. I'm your host Kyle Alexander, and this is KLA Sports. Now today, and for this video, we're going to be doing an update video of a previous one. So if you guys remember, a couple days ago, I did a Panthers video on the Panthers about Cam Newton and Ron Rivera. And now this is going to be a little update on some rumors and speculations that I've heard and seen recently. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. All right, so first up, this is kind of weird because we're starting with a different team, but Jaguars have fired Executive Vice President Tom Coughlin after the NFLPA warned players not to sign with them due to excessive fines and player grievances. And now the owner, Shad Khan, initially wanted to wait till the offseason to fire Coughlin, but he said the NFLPA warning kind of put stuff or sped up the process. Now, the only reason I mention this is because Coughlin could be a possible head coach candidate. The only thing is with this thing with the NFLPA, this might throw things off a little bit, but I'm pretty sure a team out there is still going to want to give Coughlin another chance at coaching. So I could honestly see Coughlin being the coach for the Jaguars. For the Panthers. I just see it. I feel like it would fit. That's just me. And next up, Panthers said they'll attempt to deal Cam Newton if they get a large deal. It was probably gonna be a couple draft picks, most likely, and maybe a play. It's gonna be multiple draft picks and a player or two. Maybe, or I'll say a player and a couple draft picks. What's the name? Cam Newton underwent foot surgery already. He underwent foot surgery on December 8th. And Cam Newton is owed $18.6 million in 2020, and he becomes a free agent in 2021. So whatever team trades for Cam Newton, they won't have that much. It's going to be a cheap 1-year deal, or not cheap, but yeah, it's going to be $18 million for 1 year. And then you decide if you want to resign him. I would resign him in case like they don't have the QB situation figured out or something like that. What else? And the Panthers, I feel like the trade. Well, I feel like we're all gonna see a trade, and honestly, this would probably be the best thing. Cam Newton said, there are reports saying that he was open to a trade, and he also even came out and broke silence about the trade speculation and said that the Panthers are gonna have to get rid of me for him to leave. So that is a good thing that he is loyal and like he would want to stay. But he understands how the league works. So yeah, the Panthers are most likely going to trade him. And a lot of people have been linking him to the Bears, but they're probably going to want a first-round pick out of him. And the Bears don't have a first-round pick. Oakland has it from the Khalil Mack trade. So, I mean, if I'm the Bears, I would still attempt it. But you got to think if you don't have that first-round pick that they might be asking for, might be over. Cam also said he wants to be fully able and ready to play in March. And they even said if he got the surgery in this month, then he should be ready. His timetable would set him to be ready for March. And yeah, I could see it. I could see him fully participate in that practice in March. And yeah, I feel like any team that will get him will definitely get they'll get a good veteran quarterback. Now, my only concern is that since it's a foot injury, he may not be able to like use his running to his advantage as much. I still feel like he's going to be able to run, but with if you're a running type of QB and you have an injury to your lower body, it's going to deteriorate you a little bit. You saw things worked out with RG3, and yeah, also he had that shoulder injury, so we don't know if he's gonna be able to throw it. If he's gonna be able to throw the same. So yeah, it's sad though, because Cam Newton, he's been one of my favorite players to watch. Not only that, Cam Newton, he's been a great player. It's just the injuries that started to get to him. So yeah, the injuries started to get to him. So if he's able to be fully healthy by March, I still believe that he'll definitely be a serviceable quarterback at the least. He'll definitely be an upgrade to most teams, But again, you gotta look out for that running mobility, for that running and his mobility. And plus, you gotta think if your O line's good or not. Like if your O line's good enough. Yeah, so he is set to return from March, and he's set to return from March. Hopefully, no nagging injuries. Now, this is the thing: if the Panthers trade Cam Newton, they'll go from $20.6 million in cap space to $39.7 million in the offseason. So the Panthers don't have a lot of cap space to work with, and they have some key players to sign like James Bradbury. Maybe bring back Gerald McCoy, and maybe Kyle Allen. He seems to be the QB so far. But yeah, Panthers definitely have some players to re-sign. And honestly, I feel like trading Cam Newton would be for the best, and that would definitely open up more money for you to spend in other areas of the team. Now the value, I feel Cam Newton's value will be pick wise is going to be a first or a second round pick. I feel like the Panthers will be that type of team that will want a first round pick from him. But I know the second is probably first or second is going to be the most they want. That's going to be their ceiling. They want a first. They're going to want a first or second because Cam Newton, he was an elite QB. He was an elite player. The injuries got to him, but he was not as elite. But he can still be a good quarterback. He's still a good quarterback. Like last year, Panthers would have made the playoffs. They were 6-2 before Cam Newton got hurt. Then he got hurt and he wasn't playing the same. And he got hurt, missed some time, wasn't playing the same, and the Panthers missed the playoffs. So yeah, Cam Newton, I feel Cam Newton is going to be worth a first or a second rounder. And like I said, the Bears don't have the first. And maybe throw in another player. Like they said, they want a large deal. So I feel this is the deal they're gonna want: a first or a second, definitely multiple picks, like maybe like a first and a third, or a first and a fourth and a player. Yeah, that's gonna be Cam Newton's value, especially if he can come back from the injury. Like maybe if he shows that he can still throw and move in the pocket, and yeah, that's definitely gonna be his value. I don't see him going for anything less than a second. Now, the possible teams, I've seen 8, but I've narrowed it down to 4 because I feel like these are more realistic. First up is the Bears. The Chicago Bears have been the most linked team to him. They have a QB situation at Trubisky. Is like one game, Trubisky will be good, go off. The next game, the next 3 games, Trubisky will be terrible. Chicago's probably looking to move on from Trubisky right now, and Cam Newton will be a nice little placeholder for now until they plan for the future. They already have a good offense, good defense, have a good receiving core, and if you put Cam Newton there, he's definitely going to be able to take that offense and that team to the next level. Next up is the Pittsburgh Steelers, and this honestly makes sense. I don't want to see this happen as a Ravens fan, but this makes sense. Roethlisberger, he tore his elbow, like a ligament in his elbow, and he was done for the year, and it was non-contact too. So that's a red light. If you're a Steelers organization, that's a red light. You're saying, oh crap, our QB got hurt on a non-throwing play, so he's probably going to be done. Roethlisberger is probably thinking about retiring. And Mason Rudolph, even though Pittsburgh's still in playoff contention, Mason Rudolph and Devlin Hodges, they've been serviceable, but I don't see them being the QB of the future. And with Cam Newton, they already made one big trade during the season by getting Minkah Fitzpatrick from the Steelers, and you saw how that turned them around. Maybe they get Cam Newton, and that'll definitely change things for the offense. Some possible players they could trade. I really don't know. Maybe like a corner or something. I don't know. Maybe Joe Hayden, and then they draft a corner or something. I don't know. But Pittsburgh don't even have a first this year because of Minkah Fitzpatrick. But Pittsburgh they're going to be willing to give up those draft picks to get players. Now Minkah, it probably made more sense since he was younger. But Cam Newton, I feel Pittsburgh would definitely make the offer for. And who knows? We may be seeing Cam Newton in the yellow and black. All right, next team I have up on the list is a team that has another quarterback from the same class as Roethlisberger, and that's the Los Angeles Chargers. Almost called them San Diego. Uh, but the Chargers, they had a good year last year. Last year was like that year where last year was kind of like that year. It's like, oh, we made it. Oh, now we can see what we need to improve on so that we can go to the Super Bowl. And this year, Philip Rivers has just not been it. His accuracy has been a little off, and he is getting older, so maybe he retires. And plus, Philip Rivers will be a free agent. So if I'm the Chargers front office and I see Cam Newton on the trade block, I'm gonna let Philip Rivers walk, make an offer for Cam, and then try and build around him for a little bit. And Cam Newton, he's 30 years old, so he still has time left. And like even if he can't run the ball as much, he's still a good pocket passer. Like he's been a great pocket passer. He has the arm talent. He has the cannon. So if I'm the Chargers, I'm definitely going to take advantage of trying to get Cam. I'm gonna try different trades to get Cam Newton, let Philip Rivers walk, and then see if that can turn their fortunes around. Because Philip Rivers, he hasn't been great. He hasn't been great this year. And the Chargers have two good receivers. They have two good receivers and a nice tight end and a great surprise running back in Austin Eckler. And I just feel Philip Rivers is just maybe this is his decline. This is the football god saying he needs to hang up the cleats. And Cam Newton he'll definitely be a good piece in that with the Chargers. So yeah, I could see that happening. And honestly, I would like to see that happen if I'm being honest. Him with the Chargers with Keenan Allen and Michael Williams, that would be interesting. And the last and final team that I see as a possible trade destination for Cam Newton is the Miami Dolphins. They're probably looking at me like, Kyle, you're crazy. They're going to take Tua or somebody in the class or wait next year for Trevor Lawrence. I get that, but they have 3 first-round picks this year. They traded for Aqib Talib. Mainly, that was just for the Rams to get clear cap space to sign Jalen Ramsey. But the Dolphins have made a trade for an older player. Now, or not the Chargers, the Dolphins have. The Dolphins need a quarterback, or we don't know if they need a quarterback, or maybe if I'm being honest, I would probably give Rosen time to grow. Like just try to, because he hasn't been given the best opportunity out of anybody in that class. But if I'm the Dolphins, you have 3 draft picks. I would trade one of those first round draft picks, another draft pick, and maybe all right, this is the trade I would do if I'm the Dolphins. One of the first round draft picks, maybe like a 3rd rounder, and Josh Rosen for Cam Newton. Now, I say both teams went from this. Even though the Dolphins just traded for Josh Rosen last year in the draft, they get Cam Newton, and they already have a veteran quarterback, so they have a quarterback who they can try and build around quickly. Because it's not like you have the young quarterback who has to grow and develop, and you have to wait for him to peak. No, this guy he's the MVP, went to the Super Bowl, and he's been one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So you get this older QB, you get this older veteran QB. You can build around him for like a year or two, like use that window to your advantage. Then you could draft like 2 O-linemen. I would draft like 2 O-linemen in the first round. And then, draft some skill players later. But yeah, that's why Dolphins went from that. And also the Panthers, they get a young quarterback in Rosen, who I feel could definitely be an upgrade over Kyle Allen. So then you get another possibility at your franchise player. And if you don't get that, or if he's not your franchise guy, you have the first round pick from the Dolphins. You can use that to get maybe a Jake Fromm or like a Jalen Hurts, or maybe Tua, have him, like if Tua can recover from that injury, take the risk. I don't know if they're going to do that, but Yeah, that's what I would do if I'm the Dolphins, or if I'm the Panthers or the Dolphins, I would call like if I'm the Dolphins, I would definitely call up the Panthers, try and make that offer. So I see it as a win-win for both teams. All right, that is it for this episode. Let me know in the comment section below what team you believe Cam Newton will end up on next year. Also, let me know some trade packages you would like to see. Like if you were a GM of a team, who would you trade for Cam Newton? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on those post notifications so you know when I upload. And that is it for this episode. I will talk to you guys next time.